Hello.
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 Let's go! Hey, kids.
Hey, Dad.
War crimes will be prosecuted.
Let's have a Liberty City, burn it to the ground.
Does the word mean anything to you?
Yeah, I chose this profession, so therefore I earn beer.
You want to go to the matinee?
The feeling is definitely there.
You don't know my name!
It's a new morning in America.
This is the old dude, Howard J. Reynolds. Step into my office.
Not gonna be too many punks.
Don't you stop worrying about the punk?
Fuck you. That's my name.
Yeah, let's go to the punk rock show.
Introducing for your listening pleasure.
Hi, and welcome to the Hi-Fi's Punk Rock Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and with me is my co-host, Justin. Justin, how's it going?
It's going well, Mike. I'm doing far better than I've done, or than I was for the last episode. So
We'll see.
I'm on the right side of the ground.
This takes about like an hour to record, so like
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
you could
by
come
the
up
end.
with Ebola? Not Ebola. Is it Ebola?
It's Ebola.
Sweet. I'm off to a great start. I wish there was a disease I can explain my lack of proper English. That's just me. Old age. I'm senile. I'm old. I'm crazy.
Yeah, you're prime for a Senate spot or something in the U.S.
I'll just spout some religious stuff, post a picture of myself looking like Jesus or
Yeah.
a doctor, one of the two.
Or a doctor. It's tough to tell.
I do work out in my jeans now because
Yeah,
that's the
good.
way you do things, right?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Raw milk baths. I hear those are good.
There's no other way.
That's just a sexual thing, though. Anyway, Justin, now that you're feeling healthy, how have you been?
I've been pretty good, actually. I'm trying to think what's happened since the last episode. I got a chance to see the Wonder Years.
Oh, nice.
About a week ago. Yeah, about a week ago.
But wait, Justin, the Wonder Years weren't playing in Calgary. Where were you?
I was in Toronto for it.
Spreading your disease in Toronto?
No, I made sure I was better before I flew. But yeah, it was great. It was so good to see them. They were playing the No Closer to Heaven album front to back, and then did like a sort of like mini set of 6 or 7 songs. I was hoping to hear a couple songs that they didn't end up playing, which they played at almost every other city that they played in when I went back and checked set lists. So I was a little choked isn't the right word to put it, but you know, it was unfortunate to miss a couple songs. But all in all, it was a great show.
Who else played with them? Was it just Wonder Years?
Knuckle Puck opened for them,
Yeah.
which
They're good at what they do. They're just not my jam.
yeah, like people were super into it, which is awesome for them. I like a couple Knuckle Puck songs, but I wasn't like.
Yeah, I don't have anything bad to say. It's just not my like. I think I just was late to the party on them, and I think with that kind of stuff, if there is a certain element of when you hear it and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. I did find it a little bit funny because the lead singer was like, doing really what you should be doing as an opening band, but like really trying to hype up the crowd. But it was that whole like, "Come on, motherfuckers, let's go!" And then they would start a song, and he's got such a like light, whiny voice. So then he would start singing, and I'm like, this doesn't match like the amount of hype you're throwing into this.
Ugh. I can't like. And this comes from like a guy who loves like cock rock. Like, you know me, how much I love like that kind of shticky shit. I cannot handle when bands do that. Like, I don't know if it's me being just old and cranky, but it just sounds so lame and fake. Like, all I ever think about is The Simpsons when Spinal Tap comes and he's looking at his guitar. Sprungfield.
There's certainly an element of it. I mean, I kind of get it as a lead singer. You want to sort of like make sure that you're kind of leaving it all out there, but it's just funny, like just the contrast between his stage persona and then his like vocal style.
Yeah, I guess it works for some bands. Like, it does kind of work for like more rock and rollish kind of.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Dare I say, glammy glam punk bands.
Yeah, if they're strutting.
Yeah, if you're strutting, it's a different story. But if you're singing about your girlfriend that broke up with you, and then how you're going to miss your high school exam,
Yeah,
it doesn't work the same.
for sure.
I heard a rumor you saw the NoFX movie.
Yeah, I was going to say I did see the NoFX documentary, 40 Years of Fucking Up. It was really good. It was a very enjoyable watch. It was great. Like, I think there's like, it was done with a ton of transparency and honesty, and from all members of the band. Certainly Fat Mike was kind of the main part of it, but like everyone contributed to it. Yeah, I mean, you sort of by this point know what you're going to get. I will say one of the things, like, it really made me regret not going to see their final shows in Edmonton. And at that time in 2024, yeah, whatever, like a year and a half ago, I was just sort of so over them, despite, how much I genuinely like NoFX, and they'll always be one of my favorite bands. I really wish I went and saw them, and seeing that documentary just kind of like really made me feel that even more.
I have this whole little bit since the whole "these are our last shows" thing has kind of like left a weird taste in my mouth about NoFX, and it's just gotten worse and worse. And I don't know, like Fat, again, super hypocritical of me, but Fat Mike's just reminding me of Gene Simmons now. Like,
yeah, I think there's
just keeps putting his foot in his mouth, and it's just being like the whole thing just seems so contrived. And look at me, I'm important. But
yeah, there's a lot, and like,
and I think he's honest about it. That's the weird thing.
Yeah,
it's not like,
actually, one of the things he says is like, he's like, I won't miss playing as a band, but I will miss being the center of attention.
Yeah, and I get it, and much like Gene Simmons, he doesn't lie about it. So I guess I should respect that. Like, he just says who he is, but it's like, I don't know. It's really, it might take me a while before I can listen to NoFX. And again, NoFX is one of my favorite bands and like meant so much to me. But it's just this little bit has made me, I don't know what it is. Again, just old man yelling at cloud stuff on my end, I guess. But
yeah, I did. I think one of the things I was surprised with in the honesty was like, well, this part I shouldn't be surprised about. He didn't tell the band that this was their last tour. He just said NoFX will be hitting the road and these will be our last shows ever. And the band found out basically like the way everyone else did. Like, they got texts from other people that's on Instagram or whatever. And really, like, a large part of the impetus of the tour was to get the other three guys in the band a shit ton of money so that they can retire. Mm-hmm. And they talk about it. They talk about how much money they make in the tour. And I'm like, there's a sort of really nice, genuine honesty in that. It wasn't about like, how we have to stay true to ourselves or blah, blah, blah. It was just like, we're like, Fat Mike's like, he's like, I'm done playing these songs. They don't mean a lot to me anymore. And before I do that, we're going to hit the road for a year and a half and make sure that the guys in the band are set up for life.
Fair. I'll watch it, I'm sure, eventually.
Yeah, and the documentary itself was really well done. I didn't realize it was actually done by a Calgarian production company. Yeah. So, like, it was all, edited here. Production was out of here, so cool. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah. I
also heard that WhatsApp member Joel is in the...
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
In there from the Australian show. He's in the documentary.
Yeah, that's huge shout out to Joel for making a full frontal non-nude appearance, but it's clearly our boy.
That's hilarious. Anything else? You've been watching anything on TV? Reading anything?
I just finished watching Shrinking.
Shrinking was awesome.
All 3 seasons. It was so good. It was like...
What a good feel good show.
Yeah.
And like the soundtrack to that show is so good.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Nice. Anything else? No?
Nope. That's about all I've been up to.
All right. I also was watching Shrinking and Invincible, which is a great superhero cartoon if anybody's into that kind of thing. Like Miles said in our WhatsApp group, that show never lets you feel very good for very long. So it's like, if you like a really dark and violent cartoon with some like great comedian voices, like Jason Mantzoukas is in it and people like that, the girl from Community, like, it's really good. The Pit. Have you watched The Pit before, Justin?
I actually just started watching The Pit.
Season 2 is really good too.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just a handful of episodes into season 1.
Oh,
It's far more religious than I thought it would be. There's a lot of are they doctors or are they Jesus? I can't tell the difference. It's
you can never tell the difference these days.
It's hard to know. But yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, priests or doctors or the Red Cross. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. I mean, they're all wearing robes. And then I was on vacation, so I got some reading done, which I haven't done in a while. And I read a book by Andrew Wedderburn, who's from Hot Little Rocket. And Committee.
Okay.
He had a book called Crash Palace, and it was pretty cool. Have you ever read a book based in Calgary?
No.
No, either have I. It was really weird because, like, he's describing stuff. A lot of it has to do with driving. So, like, he'll be like, she was driving on Blackfoot Trail past the not the Save on Foods, whatever the discount food barn or whatever that place was. That's by Long and McQuaid, and like. Or like walking downtown past these bars and things. And like, even though that some of them are fictitious in this, they just, exactly what he's talking about because you live here. So it's kind of like a weird introspective into a story, even though it's fiction.
That probably helps a lot with like that mind's eye and like being able to see like in your head what's happening.
Oh yeah. Like, I don't know if it would hit the same way for other people. Like a lot of it is driving in the mountains. And I'm like, even though I don't go to the mountains, I know exactly what roads they're talking about when they go into like Dead Man's Flats and things like that. No. And then the other book I read was called The Last Mixtape by Seth Lang. And it was more about physical media and why physical media is important in this day and age. And it kind of is based around the mixtape. It's written a little bit more like a university paper rather than like a book with like personal experience and stuff. So it's kind of a tougher read. But there's some interesting stuff in there and like why the tape overran vinyl and why MP3s were chosen over things. A lot of it had to do with like marketers discovering that people cared more about ease and like cost.
Yeah, I was going to say convenience probably
convenience over sound quality.
100%. Yeah.
So it was an interesting thing, like based on that kind of stuff, and that like one of the reasons the tape can still be made is because the same stuff that's used for tapes is used on credit cards. So like that manufacturing never went away. Like the ribbon on the back of a tape on a credit card is the same as the tape used in tapes.
Oh, really? Okay.
So that never went away. Whereas like vinyl, the plants disappeared and like the people that to repair them disappeared and stuff. Like, anyway, it was an interesting thing. One thing it did hit hard was he said that there's a theory that people that make a lot of mixtapes are kind of like narcissists and self-serving in that they make mixtapes for people just to prove that they like certain types of music. And then it made me feel really shitty about myself because I was like,
as it should.
Nope.
I've never heard a better description of you.
I was like, ouch. I'm like, I was making it because I thought people wanted to hear it, not to prove how cool I am. But apparently, maybe subconsciously I am.
I was going to say, can't it be both? And mostly the latter.
Well, all right. Well, I guess that's the end of this podcast.
Yeah, I was going to say, then they go on to start podcasts.
Anyway, that's it. That was a lot of stuff. Anything else in your life that you want to talk about before we move on to things we've been listening to?
Yeah, we'll touch on it when we get into the theme of the episode. But let's talk about what we've been listening to.
Yeah, Justin, what have you been listening to?
A few things that have come out. Co-Defendants new album came out a couple weeks ago. I really liked the singles that they sort of let out with this one. I love the song Rifles with DOC. I think that's such a great song. Is it a rap song or a hip hop song or a punk song? It's, I guess, all of it. But yeah, big fan of Co-Defendants. I missed them when they were here in town because I think that was when I was at Wonder Years. But Nate went to the show. He said it was great.
Our buddy Dale opened for them and sang
right.
a song.
Yeah, he's which is also super cool. So hopefully I can see them in the not too distant future. But yeah, really like Lifers. It's a great follow-up to Crime Wave, and if you liked Crime Wave, I think this one will certainly scratch the itch for a new Co-Defendants album. The second one I've been listening to, this was really sort of off the beaten track. Well, not really, but discovering it was. The band is called Offend Your Friends. and they are a ska-core band from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin.
Interesting.
Which I think is a town of about 17 people.
All in the ska band.
Yeah, and yeah, they all joined forces and formed a ska band. I guess this is their first release in 20 years, so I also can imagine let's get the guys back together and put out a ska-core album 20 years later. It's not very Scottish. Like there's a few nods to upstrokes. There's a sax player that's pretty consistent through the whole album, but it's kind of like they describe themselves as never hardcore enough for the punk scene and too destructive for the ska circle. They're just actually, the more I listen to this, or kind of the second and third listens through, I'm like, it's just like a really good rock album. Certainly like a lot of nods to punk, hardcore, and ska. But it's like a great, like sort of well thought out rock album. There's parts of it, and it's probably because of the sax in it, that remind me of like kind of like Bruce Springsteen, E Street Band kind of stuff. There's parts of it that remind me of what was that vampire band I liked?
Oh, Creeper?
Creeper, thank you. I don't know why that just totally blanked on that one. Just in that vein of like, they're not all entirely punk. There's just some like really good rock vibes throughout the whole thing. So yeah, their album came out end of March. It's called Almost Didn't Make It. I think they put it out themselves. And yeah, just a cool album. I would recommend checking it out, especially if you like ska for people that listened to ska 20 years ago. And the third one I've been listening to a little bit. I need to give it a little bit more time, but I'm quite liking it, is the new I Am the Avalanche record.
Ooh, yes, this is good.
It is good, yeah. The Horror Show is the fifth album. They put this one out on Equal Vision. Yeah, first listen through, I really liked a lot. I feel like this one's got maybe a little bit more polish, or maybe just a little bit more grown up. There's parts of it that remind me of like Ways Away, was one of the bands that came to mind. And yeah, just really liking the sound on this one, and really look forward to hearing it more. There is a song on this album that would have been perfect for the theme, but I had already made my list by the time I gave this one a listen.
You could just add things in, eh?
No, it's not
locked
in.
It's interesting. I know the name I Am the Avalanche. I don't know a ton about them, but I listened to this album just because I had time and I saw it in the new releases, and it's so good. Like, are all their albums kind of like this?
I feel like some of their earlier stuff reminds me of pop.
Okay.
Not so much in the way they sound, but almost in like the, I don't know, juvenile candor of it all, for lack of I don't know how else to put it, but like their song.
Candor.
Yeah, that's right.
I like that.
There's a song like Holy Fuck, which is about like sort of like trying to, I think it starts off like, he's alone. I'm alone for the first time in my life, or the first time in 5 years. Holy fuck, things have changed. Just like a lot more about growing up, whereas I think this one is a lot more about sort of being older, dare I say, they're around our age-ish, and how, like we've talked about a lot in this podcast, like you think you're going to have things figured out and you don't, and it's almost like you're no longer waiting for it, you're just accepting it.
I think that's just the theme of all bands that are our age.
Yeah. Yeah, it's no longer waiting to grow up. It's realizing that you are, and you'll never have shit figured out.
Are we sticking with 3? You got a throwback album? You got anything else?
I don't. I haven't done a lot of throwbacks lately. I don't know. I haven't.
It's good.
I feel like there's just so much stuff coming out that it's like, yeah, going back seems like a harder thing to do.
That's good. That's good. I like that you're listening to new music. That's what this whole podcast is about, Justin. Making you listen to new music.
That's right. It's an elaborate plan that's paying off.
It's my self-serving thing to prove how cool I am to you. I don't really
That's
care
right.
about else. It's just to you.
Let's hear about how cool you are with what you've been listening to.
Nothing very cool. I've been listening to a band called February, and their EP, Run Like a Girl, came out last year, actually. I found this band on someone's Instagram story, which is such a weird way to say you found a band. Like, oh, I heard it on an Instagram story and it seemed interesting, so I checked out the
Were they
band.
talking about it, or were they
No, like, just someone
like
puts
it was
music
like
in
on the background? Okay.
and I was
Yeah.
just like flicking through stories and I was like, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
And then I checked it out. It's really good. They're from Las Vegas. And I was thinking, like, there's not a lot of bands from Las Vegas, hey? Which just seems like a weird thing.
Surprisingly, yeah. Like, I can kind of see why, because how many people in Vegas? I mean, I guess there's a whole city that's not the Strip, so maybe it makes sense. But
Yeah, like I would think that maybe there'd almost be this, like, maybe there is, and we don't know about it, which is probably the truth. But you'd think there'd be this whole counterculture to the Strip and to that, and having its own, being like, no, we're Vegas bands. We're not part of this shticky Strip stuff. There's no Siegfried and Roy in this band.
isn't
Just a tiger.
Panic at the Disco from Las Vegas? I think they're.
Yeah, fuck them. Anyway, this band's really good. They play like screamo, emo, and if you ever listen to it, there's two songs that sound so much like Jewel that at first I was like, is this a Jewel song? Like, it's so insane how much it sounded like Jewel, but like not old Jewel, like the Jewel that came on their CD. It's pretty. Anyway, it's pretty cool. I liked it a lot. I'm hoping to hear more from this band. Oh no, my papers are all out of whack here. This isn't good. Next band I was listening to is a band called Poison Ruin and their album Hymns from the Hills. Do you know Poison Ruin at all?
I don't, but I did see that Poison the Well put out an album.
It's not Poison the Well, but I did also see that. I kept reading about this band and how great this album was, and I'd heard their name before, but honestly I knew nothing about them. Like, they've been around for a while, but I decided to check it out. Didn't know what to expect, and based on the artwork and everything, I assumed they were going to be like folk metal stuff, which is very hit or miss if you ever
Folk
dive
metal?
into that world. Huh?
Folk metal? Yeah.
This band doesn't sound like that at all,
Okay.
which is what I thought they were going to sound like. But I still don't really know how to describe them. It's maybe punk, maybe metal with synths, but not like synths in a metal way, more like in a post-punk gothic way. There are some power metal moments. There's rock and roll moments. There are actually folk moments, not like folk metal moments, but folk moments. Super interesting album. Actually, the best way to describe this album is it's just interesting. But I found myself liking it more and more that I listened to it. So I would suggest giving it a listen.
Cool.
Poison Ruin, Hymns from the Hills. Another band I'm listening to is the Evergreen Standard and their album The Good Old Days EP. They're a local band. They play melodic punk with some orgcore tendencies. I'm assuming these guys are our age or older. So if you can already tell what they kind of sound like by saying that. They have a song called Good Old Days, and the opening line is, how many times can we laugh at the same joke? And that just reminded me of our group of friends. 'Cause
For
I
sure.
feel like we've been making the same joke.
It turns
with each
out
other.
lots. We can laugh at the same joke a lot.
Yep, same jokes and same stories. We don't need to think too hard. Anyway, it's a fun little EP. It's kind of cool that they're a local. And the last one is, and I'm going to probably massacre this name, Theo Vandenhoff, and the album is Savior on the Spilled Blood. It's a band from Toronto. Play synth post-punk that has a very 80s feel to it. Very Cure-ish, if you like The Cure. Sounds like anything on a John Hughes movie soundtrack or at some 80s kids school dance. I can't remember exactly how I came across this, but it really hit the spot when I was on vacation and I was lounging around and listening to music. And the funny thing is that up until I made this list, I assumed it was a single artist, but that is actually the band's name.
That's the
And
name of
they're
the
a
band?
trio. Yeah.
Oh.
The guy's name is Theo, but his last name is not Vandenhoff, which is very weird.
That's super weird. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I was listening to. And like you said, there's been so much music in the last little while. Like, it's almost like music overload. Like, I probably could do like a huge episode just on stuff I've been listening to. So it's been a great year for music so far.
Yeah.
Or at
agreed.
least output. There's a lot of music anyways. I don't know if it's been a great year, but there's a lot of stuff to check out and a lot of genres and stuff. So, well, Justin, should we get into our topic?
We should. Episode 122.
122.
I guess I'll explain it since I think I picked. Well, I don't think. Since I pushed and sort of picked the topic.
I don't think I would call it pushing. You suggested it, and I said,
I
sure, let's do
suggested
that.
it. It wasn't a hard push.
I was like, I'm not going to think of anything. Sure, this works.
You're on vacation mode. So yeah, the topic for this this month's episode is pets, and basically like pets or animal related songs. I chose it because I just got myself a new puppy. We've got 2 weeks under the belt with a new puppy. It's basically like having a child again, or a baby, like a newborn. It's far more work than I ever imagined, but also a lot of fun. So the topic for today is pets. Mike, how did you feel about the theme?
Well, Justin, if you didn't like me before, this is going to make you dislike me even more. I really don't like pets. I don't like animals. It's a horrible quality. It's like, I understand that I'm a horrible person because I'm not an animal person. It's been well documented and well proven that people like me are awful, that don't like dogs or cats. So this is an interesting topic, to say the least. I did have a Dalmatian for 3 or 4 days. I think my
3 or 4
parents got it
days?
Yeah. I think my parents got it because they were like, oh, Dalmatians are Croatian. We'll get one. And then my dad was like,
That's a
nope.
bad idea.
It was a bad idea. My dad did not like it. And
As
plus,
someone that's had 2 Dalmatians, they're a lot of dog.
yeah, well, it was a puppy at the time. But it was like, much like you described, there was lots of late nights in those 4 days, and my dad was like, no dice, this dog's out of here. So actually, his first suggestion is, we'll just leave it outside, because in Croatia, you can just leave dogs outside. And my mom was like, I don't think you can do that here.
Yeah.
So
you get a knock on your door.
yeah. So that was the end of my pet experience. We did have a bird for a bit too. It died on Halloween.
That's a bad pet.
Yeah, it wasn't great. And I had a newt. I did have a newt.
Yeah.
Also annoying.
Yeah.
I brought it for show and tell at school, and it died on the way to school. Yep. Pets.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, basically with pets, I have to fake interest now, because when people tell me about their dogs and how excited they are, I have to pretend I like them, lest it be known that I'm a horrible, horrible person.
Is that why you haven't followed my dog on Instagram yet?
I didn't know I could, but I will follow your dog and feign interest.
I'm gonna now have to create an Instagram account just to.
What's your dog's
get you to
name,
follow
Justin?
it. The dog's name is Casey, named after the Menzinger song.
Oh, not Casey Kasem.
Not Casey Kasem. Maybe a small part Casey Jones.
What about John Casey? Old Minnesota North Stars goalie, John Casey.
I was running the Rolodex in my head. I'm like, why does that name sound so familiar?
The most random things.
Yeah.
Why I know a fact like that, I don't know. Anyway, did you find it hard to find songs for this topic?
I did. I had a couple in mind when I threw out the idea, and then filling the rest of them, I was like, oh my god, this is hard.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought this was going to be a joke. When you said it, I was like, oh man, this will be so easy. There's got to be a ton of songs about dogs, especially like emo, or alt or like indie rock songs. I feel like I was like, everyone sings about their cat or their dog. And at worst case scenario, I'm going to find one where people lost their dog or something like that. And then I was like, oh, and then there's so many album covers that use like cats or dogs. And then I was like, oh, and even before this, I was like, I'm going to go crazy and like, I'll be able to find something about a pet rat or a pet snake or a pet something. Couldn't find anything. I know Cub had a song about a chinchilla. And then I was like, well, the low-hanging fruits, the weaker thans cat story.
Cat named Virtue? Yeah.
Yeah, but Nate's played all those songs on our podcast before, so I didn't want to pick that.
It was basically like a Clash and Weaker Thans podcast for about 3 years.
Now it's just a Menzingers and
that's right.
Co-Eating Cambria podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't even like a song about a gecko. There was a big fad where geckos seemed cool. Remember when people were wearing gecko shirts?
See, like I thought you would have gone with more band names, like
yeah,
like the Dune Rats, and like you will basically take like any band that has the word rats in it, you like, which is funny because you hate mice and rats.
Yeah. I also thought of like, well, like there was like, I really wanted to use the Me First and the Gimme Gimme's cover of Mandy. I was like, that's a good one, because I'd always heard that song was about Barry Manilow's dog.
Oh.
But Apparently, that's just an urban legend, much like Bigfoot or how Dave Grohl feels about HIV. And this might be the only topic where you could use Sublime and I wouldn't laugh. I mean,
Yeah, I thought about Sublime too.
although I'd probably still laugh. Did you know that the one of them dudes is like a super mega guy? I mean, it tracks when I started thinking about it.
When he said it, it's not surprising. Yeah.
But it's kind of a bummer. Yeah, the band name thing. I debated that, and then I thought that was a easy cop out. Like, so
Yeah,
I actually did find some songs.
Okay. Yeah, I tried to stay away from like animal welfare and like songs about like vegetarianism and stuff like that because
It's not really pets. That's just more about animal rights.
Yeah. Yeah. So tried to keep it focused on pets and managed to get 5 songs here.
Nice. Well, Justin, would you like to let me know about your first pick, unless you have anything else to say about this topic or how I'm a horrible person for not liking animals?
No, we'll keep that as a running theme throughout the episode.
Sounds fair. At least I know who I am.
I'm still discovering myself in all sorts of interesting and sexy ways.
You do you, baby. You do you.
All right. First pick was actually a band you picked. I think you picked them on the last episode. And I think we might have actually talked about the song, which made this pick come to mind right away. The band is the Suicide Machines, and the song is "Sometimes I Don't Mind," which is the first single off their 3rd album. It was I think it's a self-titled album. I don't think it had a name. This is maybe the least popular Suicide Machines album because it's like the big radical departure from like the ska, punk, horns, almost hardcore at times stuff that they put out on Destruction of Definition and Battle Hymns. Aside from this song is okay and like their cover of Never Promised You a Rose Garden, I think we could both agree that this album is pretty forgettable, but this is a really nice song about his dog. Sometimes I Don't Mind. It's great, but it's just like a nice nod to how like calming having a pet is, and the things that seem like they could be a chore or a pain in the ass, or perhaps why you don't like pets, turn out to all be worth it because in the end they're pretty great.
You know what? I saw this come up when I was doing research, and I don't know this song whatsoever. So I'm actually very interested to hear it. I mean, obviously, I heard it probably when it came out.
Fun fact, it reached number 22 on the Billboard Modern Rock charts.
Interesting.
As a single.
Really?
And
it was a single off this album?
Yeah. Yeah, they shot a video for it. And the single hit number 22. And the album itself hit number 188 on the Billboard 200, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
When did this come out? Do you know off the top of your head? Do you know what year it came out?
2000.
Like 99? It's 2000?
Yeah, it was out on Hollywood Records, which I think was probably a large
but
part of it.
all theirs were on Hollywood, though.
Were they all? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They were all on Hollywood. Yeah. So this would have been after Tony Hawk? Do you think it was after Tony Hawk?
Oh, it was after Tony Hawk, for sure.
Yeah. So that might be part of it, too.
Yeah, and I know that I feel like Never Promised You a Rose Garden might have been in a soundtrack. Maybe for one of those like teen movies or something that was out at the time. That's what I was wondering what year it came out. But anyway, I'm kind of excited to hear this song because I did see this come up as like one of the big hits for that. And it's kind of cool, I guess, to go think about it. There was a good song off this album. So
there is, and I picked it.
Good work, Justin. Good work. Okay. I'm going to go with a band you once brought up on the podcast, and we've sort of talked about them before, but I don't think we've ever played a song. The band is High Standard,
Ooh.
And the song is called My Sweet Dog off their 1997 album Angry Fist. And I believe when you mentioned listening to High Standard, that they're one of those bands that we always like listened to but never loved. Would that be the best way to say it? Like,
for sure. Yep.
Basically on any of the comps that came out, the songs they had always were pretty rad. I have one of their albums and it's really good, but it's not a band I ever like sought out or anything like that for some reason. I'm not really even sure why, because like I do like, but maybe a full album of High Standard is much. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, I think they have like a really good sound, but it's also a lot of the same sound because
Yeah.
I think whenever it was maybe a year plus ago that I talked about them, it was like they just put out like a new EP or something, and I'm like, this sounds like High Standard from 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, not a lot changes, but they have just like a really consistent delivery.
Yeah, like I would say I have like 90% of the songs of theirs that I've heard.
Yeah.
And I'll full on admit that I made that number up, but I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah, numbers don't mean anything these days.
Anybody can say stats.
Yeah. 75% of people know that.
90% of people sounded or 90% of songs sounded very firm in my belief. But I do think like almost all their songs that I've heard I've liked. So it is weird that I've never really got into their albums that much. As for My Sweet Dog, I thought it was perfect for the episode because it kind of goes with one of my anti-pet stances. Much like the band, I really don't want to clean up dog shit. Dogs are cute and all, but if a dog shit in my bed, I would also lose my mind. So it just doesn't jive with my germophobic nature, I guess. Or my perceived germophobic nature that cleaning up an animal stuff would suck. Anyway.
Yeah, just a dog though, right? Like,
is this about the human thing? I told you
those videos I keep sending you.
Yeah. That's not my thing either, but you do you. Discover yourself, Justin. This is all about discovery.
We're on a journey.
Yeah, and what a journey it is from Milan to Minsk. But yeah, sure, you love your cute dog and all, but you also have to clean up dog shit, and that's what this song is about. So that's why I went with it.
All right, that's a very valid point about owning a dog. Episode 122, we're talking about pets. First picks for the top 5 or high 5 songs about dogs. They don't have to be the top 5. They're just 5 songs. My first one was...
Hold on. I appreciate that because Nate and me had a little disagreement about that. I was like, this is just 5 songs. But he'd always
it's just 5 songs.
My definitive top 5. And I'd be like, who are we to talk about top 5? Like then there's probably like, you could probably pick I Want to Be Your Dog by like Iggy and the Stooges or something. There's probably better songs. Anyway, that's a side rant. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, just 5 songs that we like. Suicide Machines off the self-titled album, and the song is Sometimes I Don't Mind.
High Standard, My Sweet Dog off Angry Fist.
There's something with the way you walk. There's something that lights a spark inside of me, and it makes me wanna sing, makes me forget everything. There's something there inside your eyes, lets me know you never lie. You fill me up, and I know what you need. Do you know what you mean to me? Well, I watch you sleep sometimes, and it feels like the first time, and you're always on my mind. Every day is like the first day, and I talk to you sometimes, even though you never talk back, and I buy you things sometimes, 'cause I don't mind. There's something strange, you can't get mad, even when you're being bad. Just look at me, and I forget everything. I try, but I can't be me. You sit by me and I scratch your back. You lick my hands and I get a rash, but that's okay, because we are a team. You make a mess and then I cling. Well, I watch you sleep sometimes, and it feels like the first time, and you're always on my mind. Every day is like the first day, and I talk to you sometimes, even though you never talk back, and I buy you things sometimes, 'cause I don't mind. There's something with the way you act, makes me laugh when you chase the cat, you chase him around, and when it's close to feeding time, you stare at me and whine. You won't lay down, you hide
I got a puppy recently. Thank you. She's adorable. She's a little boxer pit bull mix. She's a rescue. Thank you. No, it's true. She is a rescue, but I gotta admit, most days I'm not sure whether I rescued her or she rescued me. No, I'm just kidding. They were gonna kill her before I came along, so I definitely... She don't give a fuck.
All right, back with second picks for the Pets episode. I am going to jump back in with a band that I've brought up on the podcast, I think, quite a bit. I might be alone in this band. I don't think I've managed to convince anyone else to really jump into them as much as I have. But it's a band I really like, and this is an album I really like. The band is out of Ontario. They're Protest the Hero. This is their fourth album, Volition, which is actually my favorite album of theirs. I think I've probably mentioned the story. Like, I liked Protest the Hero. Their first couple albums were good. I didn't really pay a ton of attention to stuff they did after that. And then I went and saw them play at like Sate, which is a weird venue, like the Gateway. And they literally blew me away. I'm like, this is like, they're such a phenomenal band and such great musicians that I sort of like dove back in head first. This album was pretty cool because they released it basically like crowd funded the whole thing, and you could subscribe to it, and they put out like one song a month for whatever, like a year, till they had released the whole thing, which I thought was a really cool way to sort of like engage fans and release an album on their own terms instead of putting it out through a label or through any traditional means. It is available now, like on streaming services and all kind of stuff as a full length, but I thought it was really good, like whatever this was, 12 or 13 years ago. Just a really interesting way to sort of put out an album in a way that thought about like the way music is released a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm. Are they still around?
That is a great question. I'm trying to think. Did I just see them on... I feel like I just saw them today playing a show or like a little mini festival with Propagandy and the Flatliners.
Oh, that one in Kelowna, or not Kelowna? Yeah.
Are they on that bill? Or am I making that up?
But that bill looked kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few good bands on it.
Yeah.
I thought they were one of the bands on that bill, so maybe they're still around.
No clue. What's this song about?
So the song I chose is A Life Embossed, and it's about Ontario's ban on pit bulls, which has had certainly a lot of controversy. I think within like the dog community. There's a lot of like...
Well, I'm up on the dog community.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. I'm gonna school you on a few things here. I know it's like a pretty like... there's a lot of controversy around the breed as to whether they're naturally aggressive or if it's something that's sort of trained into them, or there's like a strong instinct there that can easily be flipped on by negligent owners. And then there's a lot of like responsible owners that are like, it has nothing to do with the breed. They're like a super smart, sweet, very loyal breed that often get like basically weaponized. So this song is very much in opposition to like a straight up province-wide ban on one specific breed of dog, when they don't really take the position of like, this could be like dog attacks happen regardless of breed, and you're sort of picking on one particular breed. I think it's just more about basically how unfair and short-sighted it is to say like, we need to stop dog attacks, therefore we're going to ban this one specific breed of dog. So interesting take, even just a theme for a band to take on. I thought this was one of the ones that kind of came to mind. So Protest the Hero, punk adjacent, I guess, prog metal, whatever you want to call them. I'm a big fan, and I think the song was great from a, talking about pets and defending the things that they felt passionate about.
My next song is not so much a song about pets per se, but The song is called Dogs, Not Gods. The band is Reagan, and it's off Crossover Ministry, which came out in 2017. This song is more about criticizing organized religion than actual dogs, specifically churches profiting off faith and spirituality. I mean, I guess this is pretty much the shitstorm we're in North America these days, is churches funding their agenda and duping people into spending money. And this song is more about that it's okay to, I think there is a little tone of like the simplicity in life, like owning a dog is better than going to these churches and giving them money and stuff like that. And you can find faith in that. And maybe we'd be all better off if we had more dogs and less mega churches and sketchy religious leadership. Maybe just strip away the greed and hypocrisy and we could all be a little bit better. The song opens with a pretty awesome sound clip from Wall Street, which is starting to become a theme for our podcast. The clip goes, "If you need a friend, get a dog." So I figured that worked really well
Perfect.
for our podcast. So if you need a friend, get a dog. I don't need any friends.
Cool pick. This band is awesome. I love Iron
So good.
Reagan. Yeah, and it's a band. I'm glad you mentioned them because it's like one of those bands that I sort of forget about. And then every time I hear them, I'm like, they're awesome. They're such a good band.
Well, it's like a side project thing too, right? So like from the dude from
Is it a
Municipal
side
Waste.
project? Oh,
The dude
okay.
from-
Yeah.
And then
That
I
makes
can't
a lot
remember
of
the other
sense.
guys in the bands, but I'm pretty sure it's a side project thing.
I guess that tracks because it sounds like that sort of cluster of thrash bands.
Yeah, definitely crossover thrash from that era.
Yep. And I'm here for it. That's great.
All right, Justin.
All right, second picks. We'll get right into it. I went with "Protest the Hero," the song "A Life Embossed" off the album Volition.
Iron Reagan, Dogs, Not Gods, off Crossover Ministry.
Cries of a life embossed
need a friend, get a dog.
Okay, third picks for the Pets episode. I'm going to go with a band that I've listened to, I wouldn't say with a whole lot of dedication, but I've really liked a lot of the stuff that they've put out, and probably a band that I would like to spend more time with going through the catalog. The band is Free Throw, coming out of Nashville, Tennessee. I didn't realize that they put out like 6 full-length albums, so I've definitely slept on quite a bit of the stuff that they've released. But there's definitely like a number of albums like What's Past is Prologue, and what was the other one that I liked? I'm totally drawing a blank on it. But I've liked a lot of this Free Throw stuff that I've heard. And it's a band that I'd like to check out a little bit more. The song that I've gone with for this one is off EP they put out in 2020 on Triple Crown Records. The song is Tips Are Appreciated, and it's about, I think it's about the lead singer's cat named Tips, and it's just like a nice song about how much he likes his cat, which is really, really sweet. I'm not a cat person, but I weirdly wouldn't mind getting a cat because I think the internet has made them pretty awesome.
I was going to say, I'm like, you open with, I'm not a cat person, but I wouldn't mind getting a cat.
The internet makes them look so fun.
It's like, I don't like snakes, but I would have a snake. I don't want a snake.
I'm also checking my notes, and apparently it's about a dog, not a cat. So I might have botched that one. Let's just say I'm not a cat person, I'm a dog person, and this is a song about a dog.
Tips the dog,
Tips.
not
Tips the
not
dog.
Tips the cat.
Say Tips is a cat's name.
Tips is a cat's name. I agree with you.
Yeah,
Tips
it's
is
not
a
a
cat's
dog's name.
No.
One sad note for follow-up is 3 years after this album came out, they put out a song called Tips for Safe Travels, which is about saying goodbye to his dog or cat, which is really sad.
Interesting.
Maybe don't listen to that song, because I imagine I think they're already a fairly sad emo band. I imagine that one goes to a whole nother level.
Oh, Tips.
So that's Free Throw.
Free Throw just put out, I believe, an album like a couple weeks
They
ago.
did, yeah, like very, very recently. Yeah.
Pretty good stuff. Okay, well, my band's gonna be less. Well, it's maybe not gonna jive with Free Throw as much, but they're a good band. The band is Texas Toast Chainsaw Massacre, and their song is called "I Want to Pet Your Dog" off Super Turbo, which came out in 2024. First off, thanks to Miles in the WhatsApp group, because I believe he's the first person that mentioned this band to me. I'm guessing that you can tell that I would like a band called Texas
Of course.
Toast
I was
Chainsaw
going to say,
Massacre.
like, I feel like these just get fed to you based on...
Have you heard them before?
No.
They're a great band. They play crossover thrash. They have hilarious lyrics. I think they have a song about RoboCop. They have can't remember some of the other ones right now off the top of my head. But one of the good things about them is that the songs are amazing. It's not just like goofy. Like sometimes when a band writes funny songs or they're themed, like it's pretty ridiculous. Like it might be a funny joke, but it's like the music is okay. The music in this band is so awesome. Like they sound just as good as like Municipal Waste and like Iron Reagan and like those kind of bands. Right up there with that. But this is a band that's made for a weirdo like me. The actual song is very simple. I Want to Pet Your Dog's pretty basic. I think we all know people like that are stoked to see anytime there's a dog around that they want to go pet them. And I mean, basically every person in the world besides me and maybe like 100 other people that are excited when they see a dog. Anyway, this song rules. This album rules. Go pet your dogs, I guess.
I can't get over how perfect this band and album name is for what you listen to.
Wait till you see the album art.
Yeah, I can basically picture it in my head.
Do you have a guess? What's on it?
Some sort of mix-up or mash-up of skateboards and pizza.
Very close. There's some skeletons involved too.
Yeah, okay, that all tracks. I'm sure there's a number of crushed beer cans, even though you don't drink.
Hey, I like what I like.
Yeah,
Might not be dogs, but I like my thrash art.
Yep. Fair enough. You do you. All right, I went with the band Free Throw off the EP Swig, and the song is Tips Are Appreciated.
Texas Toast Chainsaw Massacre off Super Turbo, and the song is I Want to Pet Your Dog.
Another day out in the sun. You were up all night, but I elected not to run. Out of my face, get your hand. Open my mouth to let the words fall out, but I don't think they can. And if they could, what would I say? Shit, I wanna pet that dog. I'll pet any dog. I don't care what kind. Fat, skinny, sneaky, I don't mind. Hey, buddy, I wanna pet your dog. Please, buddy, I wanna pet your dog. Ugh. I always give them treats. I'm always back in bones. You can call me Dog Patton Jones. I'm gonna blow my brains out. The blood is on your hands. Are paws really feet or are they hands? Back stretches, belly rubs and smooches. I fucking love all of your pooches. Hey, buddy, I wanna pet your dog. Please, buddy, I wanna pet your dog. Please, come on, no, come back. No, please don't run away. No, I'm nice, I swear. Just let me pet the dog.
Mike, you know we love our CanCon, and when possible, our CalCon. And that's not out of obligation. That's because we genuinely like what our country does. So my fourth pick. Are we on fourth already?
We're on 4.
That's crazy.
We're flying.
We're going through it so quickly.
Look how much better it is when you're not sick, hey?
Yeah. Who knew you would have so little to say about pets?
Well, I have lots to say. Just don't want to say it. I don't want to get...
Well then, Mike, this song is perfect for you. Hailing out of the great city of Calgary, Alberta, it's our very own Chixdiggit, who have made numerous podcast appearances, and this song is perfect for it. The song is Since You Got a Dog off the Safeways Here We Come EP, which I also feel is like a very Western Canadian and Western US joke. Because I don't think they have Safeway anywhere else.
Do they not have them out east?
No, I think it's only out west.
No. I know they're American, but...
Yeah, there's no Safeways out east. I do, on a side note, think it's hilarious that Chixdiggit released a 7-song EP. Well, that's almost a full length for most other bands, but when you only write minute-and-a-half long songs, I guess you can get away with it.
Hey, in fairness, they followed it up with like a hour-long song.
I guess so. They had to make up for it somewhere. They had to average it out. This song is about one of their friends who gets a dog, and how everyone resents him getting a dog, which I think you could relate to, maybe more so now than ever before, because I don't know if we'll ever hang out again.
Well, you had a dog always growing up, so
I
there was
guess
always a dog around your house.
That dog resented us, like
and
all
your 2
of
dogs
us.
were mean.
Yeah,
I was very scared of your dog.
rightfully so. That dog had a lot to say. Mostly get the fuck out of my house and stop.
In fairness, you were playing drums and
Yeah.
playing loud, obnoxious music.
Yeah, no,
So-
she definitely had her reasons to hate us all.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, the song's about how one of their friends gets a dog. They still like their friend, but they don't like his dog, and
No, it's because
that the dog
everyone
goes
wants to
away.
talk about their dog when they get a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. People don't even talk about their kids as much as they talk about their dogs.
If you just follow my dog's not yet created Instagram account, you won't have to hear all about it.
That's the plan. Anyway, this is a great song. This is legit the first song I thought of when you suggested the topic. I'm glad you picked it. Switching back to last week's topic, Chixdiggit's a band I would like to see put out a new album, but they never really had a bad album in between. Like, none of their albums are bad.
No,
so
they've been
it's not the
so
same.
consistent. This album came out in 2020 and sounds like everything that they put out for the 25 years prior to that. Like,
Yeah.
they're so consistent. If you like Chixdiggit, this is a great song and a great fit for today's episode.
They're another band that can write silly songs that don't feel silly.
Yeah, that's actually such a good point. because this is such a ridiculous song.
And like Hot and Horny in Calgaryton is like a hilarious song. It's a great song though too. So it's not, but if like Free Throw wrote that song, you'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah. This EP I think also has Swedish Rat on it, which is a great song too. It does.
Great song. Great EP. Great band. Great pick, Justin. So the second song I thought of for this topic was actually the song I'm picking. So I'm glad you picked the Chixdiggit one, and I went with this, and I also went with some CanCon from Winnipeg's own the Bonaduces off their album The Democracy of Sleep, which came out in 1998. The song is I Nominate My Kitten for the King of the Dead.
It's a great song title.
It is a great song title. Very of the genre, hey, to have a song title like that.
Yeah.
If I wasn't going to pick the Weaker Thans, I had to use another Winnipeg band. And this one leads into the theme about pets dying in songs, which is something that I think comes up a lot when you're looking up pet songs, or at least when I was doing my research here. And it makes sense because like people have a relationship with their pets that I might not understand, but the majority of people have a great relationship with their pets, and the loss of a pet is very traumatic for a lot of people. I think most people. This song is much like most Bonaduces and Doug McLean songs. It tells a story. This one is about finding a diary and reading the entries about the death of a kitten, revisiting this and relating to the overall idea of loss and grief. So it's a pretty cool song, and it's not as sad as I made it sound. It's pretty good. Side note, Bonaduces are playing shows again, and I believe in the middle of working on some new music. And if you haven't checked out Doug's solo album, The Prometheus Chord, it came out earlier this year, and you should.
Cool. Good pick, Mike.
And we got a cat in there.
Yeah. It's okay. We're changing. It's not all dogs.
Propaganda has a cat song, too. Is it a Winnipeg thing to like cats? They got to be different.
Maybe. It's too cold for dogs there.
Too cold for...
They can't go outside in the winter. I guess huskies and those other big dogs.
Polar bears. People have pet polar bears, right? All right. That was a mood killer. I guess you're not the polar bear aficionado that I thought you were.
No, I got to draw the line somewhere. Although I would love to see... I do like polar bears, and I'd love to
polar
go see them.
Polar bears are pretty magnificent animals.
Yeah, like I'd love to go see them in like Churchill, Manitoba, and stuff like that. Like you can do like these, like those big.
It better not be dude trip.
Oh, I don't want to do it with a bunch of guys. I don't know who I'd do it with, but it seems like a weird guys trip idea.
That would be. I mean, I would like to see a polar bear, but I don't know if I'd want to see a polar bear up front in that kind of scene.
Where would you like to see one? You can go see him at the zoo.
Yeah, I guess. I used to like him when I was a kid, but now the polar bear in Calgary was horrible. It's like the epitome of why you shouldn't have zoos.
Yeah, the new one's good. I mean, one did die in the zoo.
Oh, there are polar bear killed the other polar bear.
There's a new one coming, so.
Death match?
For sure.
It's going to be a UFC fight. Alberta advantage.
If the new one loses, we separate. Songs about pets. I went with Chixdiggit off the 7-song EP Safeway's Here We Come. The song is Since You Got a Dog.
I Nominate My Kitten for the King of the Dead by the Bonaduces off The Democracy of Sleep.
Since you got a dog, no one wants to hang around you. Don't blame yourself, it's not you, it's your dog. I know you think we ain't the girl that you're dating. It's not true, she's a saint, and she can tolerate you and your dog. Since you got a dog, no one ever sees you around. We secretly hope you'll send it to the pound. Don't take it wrong, cause it ain't you that we're hating, cause we think you're okay, but we got lots to say about your dog. When we plan to hang out, you don't need an excuse. We want you to know that we really miss you. You figure it out, you know it will be. Just don't bring your dog. taken hard. These lessons have been tested by the losses that we suffered so far. So I nominate my kid for the king of the dead. 7 years have passed and now I'm back to this. Distant dogmatic words fall from my lips like in these pages of false history. Dragmatic to addict with me. So Sarah, listen close, I want you dead alive. Gail, I reserve a spot at your bedside. Carla, I've been through all this with you, and I'm sure you remember it too. 'Cause that ceremony was the last thing that we ever did in that time zone again. With the origins of love wrapped in shoebox and rope, dragging us from a world of pretend. It's essential, 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 this is taken hard. These lessons have been tested by the losses that we suffered so far. So I nominate my kid for the king of the dead. It's essential, 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 this is taken hard. These lessons have been tested by the losses that we suffered so far. Essential, 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 this is taken hard. These lessons have been tested by the losses that we suffered so far. So I nominate my kid for the king of the dead. I nominate my kid for the king of the dead. I nominate my kid for the king of the dead.
Always great to listen to some CanCon. Great pick, Justin. Before we get into our last pick here, I just wanted to say thank you to a bunch of people. Thank you to anyone who's been listening to us or has listened to us. We really appreciate it. I hope we didn't offend you with my anti-pet stance. Justin made up for it with his pro-pet stance, but anti-mob stance. Jokes aside, really do appreciate everybody that listens to our podcast. Thank you to the WhatsApp group. Thank you for all the interesting music conversations. If you'd like to join our WhatsApp group, get in touch. Thank you to anybody that submits a list. If you want to send a list for an episode, this one or any of the other ones, we love checking them out. And I have been posting them on both our Instagram and Substack. If you're new here, please like or subscribe to our podcast on whatever service you use. Maybe leave a nice comment on the streaming service or on Instagram. Justin's really needy and needs that sort of attention. Not me, I'm cool and confident, but Justin needs it. So let him know that you like him. You can get in touch via our Instagram account at High Fives Podcast. Subscribe on Substack, High Fives Punk Rock Podcast.substack. If you like our podcast or you think you know someone that might be into it, please share with them. I think that matters more than any sort of forced algorithm or suggested stream. It means the world to us that anybody wants to listen to this podcast. I love doing it. And thank you most of all to Justin for recording and hanging out with me and letting me do this podcast. Justin?
So I did find one song that's not about a dog. Although I am quite ironically wearing my Hot Mulligan t-shirt and it has a picture of a dog on it. Which is great. It's a good random coincidence for this episode.
I think my Hot Mulligan dog shirt has a dog too.
That's the cover of the album.
Mine's not the cover of the album. I think mine's just a dog.
No. Maybe you're more pro dog than you know.
Maybe.
I went with Hot Mulligan because it's probably been 2 episodes since I picked a Hot Mulligan song. So I'm going to go back to them. This is off the album Why Would I Watch? And the song is Betty. I always liked this song when I heard it, and then when I saw Hot Mulligan maybe a couple years ago or so, they played the song. Well, I guess he played the song just as an acoustic by himself, because it's an acoustic song by himself. He said the song is actually about his pet rat. It's
Really?
not about a dog. Yeah, it sounds like it's about. I mean, you can hear it's clearly about a pet because he says things like "got her ashes from the vet today." Unless that was like a nod to the like Veteran Memorials Hospital or something like that. It's clearly about a pet. But it's just, he said it's a song about his rat. He had a pet rat that got sick, and how much it like really fucked him up because he had this pet for a number of years, and kind of goes to show how much a pet can mean to someone, even though it's a rat, which seems weird. But I get it. It's just a really this song is like it's a really beautiful nod to how important pets are in people's lives. I think everyone should give it a listen.
Good pick, Justin. This is a great song. I would have never picked up on the rat thing though.
Yeah, there's
I like my rats
aside-
I like my rats to be party rats, not dead rats. Well,
That's right,
my real
yeah.
rat's dead, but party rats
Yeah.
in songs.
You want them in surfboards and
Yeah,
doing keg stands.
yeah.
And out of
Working out
Alberta.
at the gym, biker mice from Mars kind of style.
What an odd reference.
I'm an odd
I don't
dude.
know where that came from.
My brain is an interesting place that no one should ever come. Well, Justin, I'm going to keep up with the sad theme on this last one. And before I talk about this, I just want to apologize if this is a triggering song because it deals with a pretty heavy topic. So it deals with abuse. So if you are uncomfortable with listening to songs about abuse, maybe don't listen to this one. The band is the Hotelier. The song is Housebroken, and it's off Home Like No Place Is There, which came out in 2014, which is way older than I would have thought. I guess in my head that's not that old of an album, but it's a pretty old album already.
Yeah, that's 12 years ago. That's nuts.
Again, this is another song about a pet, but it's used more as a metaphor. And not a positive metaphor. This is a description of abuse. On the surface, it's about an abused pet, but really it's about an abusive relationship and how it can trap someone to the point that they're scared of freedom because the abuse offers a false sense of safety and security. And even though you're offered the chance to leave, it's not as easy as people would like it to seem. There's some pretty intense lines in this song, like, "Master's all that I've got. He keeps me having a purpose, gives me bed, keeps me fed, and I'm just slightly nervous of what I might do if I were let loose." The song really doesn't hold back with the comparison between a dog and someone that is abused. And even if you wanted to go free, the fear of doing that is greater than staying. Thankfully, this isn't something I've ever had to deal with either on a human or animal level, but I think both are pretty horrible things, and hopefully no one listening here has had to deal with any of that stuff either. I was shocked when I was reading about the song that people get really offended by this song because of the topic or the comparison. But I don't see the offense in it, and that explaining that sometimes this shit happens and it's horrible. And I think anytime someone writes a song about something like this, it brings light to the topic, or at least a discussion of the topic.
Yeah, Mike, I'm super glad you picked this one. It was one of the ones that I thought about, and I'm glad you went with it. And I would agree. I think I can maybe understand why it may feel like it's making something seem lighter than it is, but I would sort of position it the other way and say it's maybe a comparison that makes it easier to understand when you think about like animal abuse, or how a dog will, cozy back up to someone even if they're abusing them, and it's really hard to leave that situation. I think this just kind of draws like maybe a comparison that's makes it a little bit easier to understand if you've never been in that position.
Yeah, I would say so. But to each his own. And like I said, sorry if it offends anybody or if it's hard to listen to. But I thought this was a good eye-opener on the topic, on what could be a simple and lighthearted topic. We made a lot of jokes about how I'm a shitty person for not liking animals and stuff during this, and all the fun stuff about things. But there is a dark side to all this too. So I thought, way to bum people out before the end of an episode. That's what I really want to do.
We're
with
really
this.
ending on a couple of downers here.
Yeah. So a dead rat and an abusive relationship. That's how you want to go out on a show. Make people come back for more, right?
That's right. Our next episode, we're going to have some great
Party rats.
good-hearted pickups. Tune in next time.
It's going to be songs about surfing. before we go, I did think of something, and I meant to bring this up when we were talking about it. Originally, I was just going to pick 5 different versions of Pet Sematary just to piss you off.
I'm actually surprised you didn't go with Pet Sematary as a band.
Oh, that could have done that too. That's also a good one. And they have a good album art with a dog too. One of their best songs. But I don't think they have any songs actually about a dog. Maybe they do. And circling back to the topic, that was one of the hard things. Like, I think you have to know the song.
You kind of have to like get into them, yeah.
To know if it's about a pet. Like, for example, Betty, knowing that it's about a rat is because you did the research on it. But like, you wouldn't necessarily know that just by hearing the song. So there's a lot of that. Which is like,
there's a lot of them. Even like that Suicide Machine song sounds like it's about like sort of early days in a relationship. Like it sort of sounds more like a love song.
Mm-hmm. So so if you do send in a list, I'm very curious to hear what way you go with it and what you can pull out. And and if you have a pet, send in your picture of your pet. I'm sure people want to see it. Yeah,
that'll be fun. We can totally do pet pictures.
Yeah.
Unless you have like a weird pet, like a bird or a newt.
I don't even have a picture of my newt.
You take a picture of any newt, they're all going to look the same.
My newt was cool. He's surfing. He was a surfing newt.
Yeah.
He's a party newt. He
lived he
died the way he lived.
Underneath a binder in your backpack.
No, he was in a bucket. Partying with the flies. It's just a hot tub. It was a little too hot for him. Anyway, that didn't really happen. He did die on the way to school, but he didn't die because I burnt him. I don't think. I'm not a serial killer. I don't think. I just make mixtapes for people.
Not yet. Yeah, I was going to say,
on that note,
you're 3 mixtapes away from that coming true. All right,
that's how you
final
know you're
picks
die.
For episode 122, all about our pets, or pets, I guess. I went with Hot Mulligan off the album Why Would I Watch, and the song Betty.
Hotelier, Housebroken off Home Like No Place Is There. Thanks for listening. Stay cool and be excellent to each other.
She used to sleep tucked in a tiny ball. Used to listen when I sang her favorite song. Held her fingers so she'd wake with me. Get drunk and sink into the couch for the TV. Couple of years we couldn't go outside. Thought long as she was here then I would be just fine. Had a cough and made me nervous then. Thought it would pass by the time the winter met its end. Oh. Doctor said it doesn't go away. Nothing left to do but hope and medicate. Held her fingers so she'd wake with me. Get drunk and stay awake for days. I'd watch her breathe. Got her ashes from the vet today. I can't look at them or find the proper place. She used to sleep tucked in a tiny ball. Used to listen when I sang her favorite song. Oh.
entered the yard to convince you to redirect some of that rage. Because who fed you rocks while they ate their Thanksgiving? And who left you out all alone in their cage? When you were a pup, well, I watched you so close. You ran straight to the distance, allowed by his post. You got kicked, you got choked. Phrases crept up your spine when he said we must keep our bitches in line. And on his poker nights, says the same of his wife. He's the top dog, pack leader, a true alpha male. So make no sudden moves, keep your nose from the border. You move fast, you eat last, this side of pecking order. With me, we've got acres with streams. We won't keep you in cages, make you beg for your treats. We won't tell you to hell, though you might need some time to dig up those old bones your young self left behind. You said your offer is nice, but here should suffice. Yeah, my younger years are something, but that isn't my life. Master's all that I've got, keeps me having a purpose, gives me bed, keeps me fed, and I'm just slightly nervous of what I might do if I were let loose. If I caught that mail car or ate garbage for food. So as I bare all my teeth, I will ask of you, please, to just leave. Well, your heart has spoken. I feel you're already half broken. Well, your heart has spoken. I feel you're already half broken. Breaking chains from their faith, and then you wipe your hands clean, splash of water, paper napkins, while the parrots sing headlines. We wear the leash like a fashion, try to take out my pride, expect a visceral reaction, try to muzzle me up, but lash out, I'll fight back and keep my options open. For fear of becoming house.
Okay, if you heard the whole album, you might want to get into bed and listen to the last part. And you've already heard our hit single and everything else on the album.
Beauty.
So you can listen to this late at night, and just this is the last thing that you'll hear, okay?
Okay.
Good day. This is a part of the album, which is a bedtime story. I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug.
Good day.
How's it going?
Oh, I've had one too many, eh?
I think so.
How's it going, eh?
Tell the story.
Okay.
Good night, everybody, and here's the last story.
This is the story of Ralph the dog, who ran away from home when he was 4, or 28 in our years. which like isn't so bad.
I'm doing background music.
Because you would figure that it wouldn't be that bad, but Ralph took off and met up with about 5 other dogs, and
I can't do 5 dogs.
I can.
Okay, do it. Yeah, and one of the dogs had emphysema, as you could hear.
Yeah. Well, some dogs, as you know, are chain smokers. So, anyway, these dogs ganged up on Ralph, and there was a dog fight, and it went something like this. That's Ralph. And the other dogs are like that, eh?
What about the chain smoking dog? Oh, jeez.
So, the dog fight began. And like Ralph ran away, eh? So, then Ralph went into the Navy and
Boy.
got
okay.
on an atomic sub.
Now look, a lot of people have already fallen asleep because of how nice a story that was. You don't
Really?
tell a dogfight story as a bedtime story.
Why not?
Your brain's like a bowling ball, and the 3 holes are full of dog dung. I don't know
Thanks a lot.
why you tell a dogfight
What a
story.
hoser you are to me.
Yeah.
I was getting to the good part.
Why
where
don't you
Ralph,
tell a story like something like there was once a nice little boy and he had to go to bed and he had dreams and he thought of being like a prince and having a car, you know, like nice stuff.
like Ralph, when he joined the Navy, got on an atomic sub, and it was going to get real exciting, but you had to cut me off.
Knowing you, the atomic sub would have been blown up, and Ralph would have died. There would have been more dogfights, and everybody would be up all night because of your horrible story.
Ralph didn't die.
They'd have nightmares.
He didn't die.
Yeah, what happened to him?
He got into a dog fight in the sub with the other dogs that were on it.
Yeah, I knew it. You're a hoser.
But the dog fight in the sub sounded like...
Oh, jeez.
Like,
boy, sometimes you really are weird.
Okay, I'll tell another one.
No, forget it.
Good day.